white and wearing black today, Mississippi State. Let's redo that. Starting five, Hannibal, Wright, Will Baker, Derek Fountain, and Terrell Ward for LSU. And Matt McMahon, who's in his second season. This one is controlled by State.
It was an 87-67 win by Mississippi State the last time these two teams met. And the physicality, just the brute strength of Mississippi State really bothered LSU in that game.
This is the star down low, Smith. He threw a good pass to Cam Matthews, and we'll have our first two free throws, and that allows us to say hello to the king of the SEC, Marty Smith.
I'll take it, Ravi. This game has enormous implications for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The NCAA tournament is on the line. I talked to our bracketologist, Joe Lenardi, this morning. He tells me dogs win, dogs are in. They know that. I talked to Chris Jans, Mississippi State's head coach, on the way in this morning, and I said, how do you balance that message to your guys between making that motivating and not distracting? He said, good question, but fortunately we have a core group of guys who were just in this position 1 year ago. They know what's at stake.
All right, well, they missed their first two free throws. Did Matthews, whose scoring has gone up here recently. He's also been handling the ball a little bit more. First offensive trip for LSU.
Ravi, it's a physical Mississippi State defense. Very difficult to get inside the three-point line. They actually lead the league, the team in black, forcing three-point shots in conference play.
Well, they had their first three. That one around and out for Will Baker, who has gone double figures 7 of his last 10. Smith powering down low, had it ripped away. That's a block for Jordan Wright. Bumpy start for both as no one has been able to break the seal. Whole bunch of contact and no whistle blown. Jeffries.
Man, two trucks colliding on the interstate and just ignore and play on early.
Hard to ignore the damage on those trucks, isn't it?
LSU has 1, 3, or 4. They're a highly skilled team. And they just handle those contact plays for 40 minutes against Mississippi State is the biggest question from Matt McMahon.
5 on the shot clock. Quick look by Wright. He's going to have to launch. See if Hubbard can get his first shot of the game. There it is. That's way short, but it got hit on the arm. Will it be 2 or 3 shots?
Well, he is so good, Hubbard, at drawing contact and selling contact. Even the 50-50 whistles go his way a lot because he has great control, great lift. A fallible jump shot for a small kid, and he is so good. That's clearly a 3. Working off that high ball screen into a jump shot more than into a drive.
Prolific shooter, 267 three-point field goals, almost 200 more than anyone else on the team. And finally, the ball goes through the basket.
Well, we've said it all season long. He is the high school State of Mississippi all-time scoring leader. And originally signed at Ole Miss, and then when Kermit Davis was let go, the recruiting door was open, and Mississippi State went in and gobbled this kid up.
Yeah.
To come in and be the highest scoring guy on an old team says a lot about Chris Jans' guys' maturity and speaks volumes about how Hubbard is wired.
Researchers Mike Nutaro, his first nugget has been exposed as they now have a 2-0 lead. They had led for just 17 seconds in their last 3 games. That's it. So they're back on top. Unfamiliar territory for Jans' guys.
Yeah, and biggest lead of the game so far for Mississippi State.
Thank you. Oh, bad pass. Fountain threw it, and Wright was going somewhere else.
Just that smothering Mississippi State defense, man. They can really pressure the ball, stay in front of the ball. And Matt McMahon knows they're going to have to handle that. The defensive physicality of Mississippi State just jumps off of a film, and it jumps off setting courtside.
Yeah, we've talked about some of those extensions that are being given to coaches here in this conference. McMahon took a 2-16 team last year to 9-9 this season in conference. A phenomenal turnaround. Hubbard, corner 3 ball. That's too strong. Deshaun Davis is also coming off a season high. He had 16 against South Carolina. for a double team in the corner. They'll flip it, and the big guy launches his second three, and that finds the bottom, Will Baker. Texas Tech and Nevada transfer 7 of his last 11. He has hit at least 10 points.
He makes about 1 3-point shot per game. He's the type of kid, Ravi, if he makes his first one, he could make 2 or 3.
Hustle, more contact, no foul, 3 ball, no good from Hubbard. And both teams really struggling from the field to get the ball through the basket prior to Baker's 3.
You have got to make open threes against Mississippi State, and you're looking at a big guy. It's a 7-footer in Baker that can make those trail threes. He can also pop out and stretch your half-court defense. It's very difficult to get to the rim against Mississippi State. You've got to loosen it up by making those free jump shots.
Chris Jans told us yesterday we need to get 15 in the game a little bit more. So Jimmy Bell Jr., big body, is in the game. Smith goes to the bench. 3 ball way too strong from Ward. We'll see what Bell's impact on this game can be. He looks a lot more like a linebacker in the NFL than a basketball player. He is a presence. And his body there helped open up the lane.
Good call, Ravi. That's a seal-off. That's actually an assist from the coach's standpoint by Jimmy Bell to seal his guy off and just open up that drive lane down the right side. Really well done.
Maybe I should have said offensive lineman instead of linebacker.
Either way, I think you made your point.
Davis's first couple and the first field goal for Mississippi State. They got a chance here. Hubbard alley-oop. Yes, it will count. He threw it high. Difficult catch for DJ Jeffries. But State now leads 6-3.
Smart play by Jeffries not to try to slam it because he's a little off balance, just to make sure he gets the 2 using the backboard. If you can't get inside this defense, very difficult.
Big bodies they had. Baker open for a 3, fired a pocket pass. That's out of bounds, and it'll go to Mississippi.
Some celery facts for you, that it actually requires more calories to eat celery than
to drink it.
Yeah, to drink it.
Yeah, I did know that. We'll see where we are at the end of the half and how much is left, and that's a turnover for Mississippi State. It's been a game littered with turnovers.
I just know my shoulder already feels better.
So good. So good. Thanks to Chris Jans for that idea. Bad pass somehow gets all the way through. Reed into the game. He left his feet, but that leaves an open 3 that comes up short. Wright will try. Oh, follow inside. Getting up and getting down, Hunter Dean.
I love the effort and the passion that Hunter Dean plays with. I mean, his role is simply that, outplay and outwork anyone else on the floor when you're on the court. 12 and White really good at those types of situations.
Hubbard, man in his face, buries it. Grant Hannibal came after him, and he was, as you say, elevating over Hannibal.
The release point of his jump shot, Ravi, for a 5'10 kid, it's right there with Dalton Connect in this league, who is 6'6". Very difficult to get to his ball.
Contact, they're going to get Hubbard there with the body.
Watch the effort of Hunter Dean. He secures the offensive rebound and kicks it out and then doesn't settle and gets right back into play. He owns the front of the rim, the big left paw with a hard slam. Looks like another guy that had celery juice early this morning. There's that lift by Hubbard. Doesn't have great spin on it. I mean, I've seen better spin coming off of the wrist release, but man, his pop into his shot is exceptional.
Look at you. You're having more of the celery drink. It's working on that shoulder.
Well, I've tried cupping, I've tried scraping, I've tried dry needling, chiropractors. I'm going now down the celery stretch to try to get this shoulder healed.
Williams no good. How about another offensive rebound by Dean? Circus shot goes in. How in the world did that shot go in from Williams?
And it feels like you have to make some of those against a terrific defensive team like Mississippi State. Some of those hard-guarded, off-balance shots. Just find a way to get it down.
Last 2 trips now for LSU. It's mistake offense that has led to points. Bad pass picked off. And the bench has proven itself in this game early. That ball was just swallowed up. Sean Murphy into the game, 12 for Mississippi State.
Well, you get momentum coming downhill, and all starts with a play of Hunter Dean again with that kick-out pass. But Williams is
That's a crazy shot.
Crazy. He's had a really good freshman year for the number of minutes that he's had to play. He is tough. He's a fighter. He's competitive. A real good foundation piece in that freshman class.
The D was triple teamed down low. He has it. Went up for a dunk, and he was met. And he will go shoot a couple.
Look at the impact of Hunter Dean. He averages about 15 minutes a game. But you can't play harder than what he does when he's on the floor. The type of guy that Matt McMahon never calls a play for, just trusts his heart and toughness to make plays, you know?
6'10", 250. He's averaging about 3 points. An outstanding behind-the-scenes look Tuesday night, SEC Network.
Gentlemen, according to a 2017 Food and Wine magazine report, after
Celery
being
update.
fed both celery raw and in a smoothie, each containing 53 calories, one burned 72 while eating the raw celery and 112 while drinking the smoothie. In both cases, he burned more calories digesting the celery than the celery actually contained. We are marvels of nutrition.
Chris Chance, man, where would we be without him? That ball hits off the front iron and goes through for Murphy. They're looking for some bigger type production from Murphy. Played only 2 minutes in that game against South Carolina, just 2. He's got all sorts of skill, 12 in black.
And he's really battled through, what, 7 or 8 surgeries since he's been to Mississippi State for different reasons. But he is a talent at 6'10". Long, skilled guy.
Williams, the floater, no good. McMahon's gotten a big spark from his bench. That time, though, a blow-by and an easy layup. Mississippi State, Jimmy, had made just their last 5.
Good job by Shaquille Moore to shift gears, get downhill.
87, it's been a bit.
I like what Matt McMahon was telling Marty about we got to compete on the offensive end with strength and force as well as defensively against Mississippi State. And the pressure release. So what does that mean? Like, you got to get some ball screens, knock that ball pressure off of you. Can you open the floor up? Get some gaps to drive, but all those things you're trying to turn against a really outstanding defensive club in black.
Yeah, they talk about shutting off those driving lanes, Jimmy. They have really struggled this year, LSU shooting the 3 against Mississippi State. There's Dean with a block. Hannibal, like a bowling ball to the rack. Oh, count that! What a shot, Trey Hannibal.
Remember a couple years ago, we went to the Lexington bowling alley and did a demonstration of Trey Hannibal knocking over pins. This is why right here. Just knocks defenders out of the way, and even when he takes a hard hit, he is such a physical, downhill SEC linebacker body. Playing his best basketball of his career is Trey Hannibal, and Matt was very impressed yesterday talking about how this kid has matured, his voice, his choices in life. What a finish by Trey Hannibal.
Yeah. Degree of difficulty, the Hannibal and Williams layups leading the field so far. But he missed the free throw, and the loose ball will go to
watch out.
LSU as Hannibal almost wiped us out.
Yeah, he almost got into the middle of that celery drink.
Of all the things we thought could go wrong with the celery drink, having Trey Hannibal spill them all over us would not be on the top of the list.
Do you get 20 seconds to clean the celery stain off your jersey, like if it's a blood issue? You get a certain amount of time?
Sure, with your relationship with the officials, you could get that. Smith really working hard down low. That time he used his body, couldn't convert the layup. And it will be a loose ball still alive. It's Mississippi State. Good ball fake and the high floater, no good.
Yeah, Hunter Dean making life tough inside, right, on both ends of the floor.
Shaquille Moore had a really good look. So did Tolu Smith. A couple of shots at the rim they missed. Hands that time by Shaquille Moore. Loose ball, Mississippi State.
And you cannot be loose with the ball against Mississippi State. Those drives got to be tight. You get outside your shoulders or your hips of that basketball, the team in black will swipe it.
Difficult pass. That ball is out of bounds off LSU. So Chris Jans, the net 42. They have 3 wins against quad 1 teams and 3 against quad 2s. Now, Joe Lenardi has them as the last 4 bye. You heard Marty spoke to Joe this morning, said if they win, they're in. And it's a comfortable sort of line to be living on, isn't it?
It
Regardless,
is.
even with a win.
Yeah, no doubt. And they are built to have success on a neutral floor. And the longer this game goes, you start playing that thought in your mind for Mississippi State. This is a game that we can't lose, and then there's a lot of pressure on you when that happens.
Tyrell Ward finds the bottom. That's only their second 3 in 8 attempts.
Yeah, but Tyrell Ward, Ravi, has shot 19 out of 41 over the last 8 games from 3. A high percentage shooter from distance.
The ball fake by Deshaun Davis. He knocks it down. 13 all, right open for a 3. He got it. Back-to-back trips with a 3 for the Tigers.
And there is your pressure release that Matt McMahon talked about with Marty. Ball screens, getting guys free, but spacing that floor and knocking down some shots to loosen that defense up. Knock the pressure off with shooting.
Jones, that's way off to the right. They get a run out. Right, it's literally 1-on-5. And he shoots it. He had a 1-on-5. Nobody in white was down there, and he launched a 3. Good hands defensively. Getting back was Fountain. He's got a chance on the other end and will not take it. Right to his left, corner kick. Hot potato behind the back. Oh, that's their 3rd in a row, and a lot of celebrating by Mike Williams, who went behind the back.
What a play by Mikey Williams. And what he's done in this league as a true freshman with a ton on him, but the confidence to make that pass right on time and on target with his offhand, Ravi, to the corner.
You watch LSU games, there'll be periods during the game where they look like a ballet.
No
Everything
doubt.
is so in sync, and then they can go off the rails. This is the best version.
Well, Mikey Williams is a right-handed guy throwing a left-handed wraparound pass right into the shot pocket of his buddy in the corner. He makes a very difficult play look easy and delivers it right into the best shooter, Tyrell Ward, over the last 7 or 8 games for the Tigers. Yeah. That was special.
Ward now has 50 3-pointers on the season. A 9-2 run. Matthews hangs, and he can't get that to go. The 7-footer, Baker back in. Fountain rips it away.
Now remember, it's an LSU team that went and won at South Carolina and then came home and knocked off Kentucky. They have proven they can beat the best in this league.
Line drive 3, never had a chance to go in.
Speaking of line drives, you'll see some line drives in Seoul, Korea next week.
How about that? Heading over for the Dodgers Padres. Eduardo Perez has already touched down in Seoul. Couple of big bodies, and that's no good. The follow is up and in from DJ Jeffries.
Yeah, LSU did a good job on their initial rim defense, but did not check out that offside slashing guy to the glass. What'd you say it was, a 15-hour plane ride
Direct
to Seoul?
Yeah, a lot of celery drinks. A lot of celery drinks. Maybe some classic old Mississippi State 7 of 18. The difference has been the 3-point shooting. LSU's gotten hot all of a sudden. They've made 3 in a row and now 4 of 12, while Mississippi State just 1 of 6. Hubbard really hasn't gotten going yet for them. He's got 5 points. And that is going to be a call against LSU. They get Baker.
Yeah, I think setting an illegal moving screen on the weak side.
It wasn't Baker. They called it on Tyrell Ward.
Think about LSU's offense right now. They have fired up 12 threes in this game and only 7 twos. So that's taking what the defense gives you. It's not easy to get inside that Mississippi State defense. If LSU's going to fire from 3, man, they've got to make a good clip.
Hand off to Hubbard, and they are in a little of a trap to find Hubbard every time he gets the ball. Whoa, look out! Right up there to Norby Williamson and his wife Suzanne. That's in row 20. Marty's got it too. Marty, see the celery, Marty. It get you a little more active.
The celery is still intact. Fortunately, if that ends up all over my suit, dry cleaning's going to Jimmy Dykes jet.
Look at that LSU offense opened up like the lane is on fire. No one's allowed in the lane on the offensive end. Allowing that right there, right? Allowing Hannibal to have a little bit of a gap without help defense smothering him.
Look at how much fun Trey Hannibal is having in this game.
With your point, they are heating up LSU. Hubbard on every catch. Popping him out, switching out high and hot. Not giving 13 much space at all.
Nope. 10 on the shot clock. In the corner is Jeffries. Bell down low, working on Baker. 5 on the shot clock. He's going to have to put it up, and he does with about 1. Didn't hit the rim, and that would have been a violation, but LSU grabs a rebound.
Boy, Baker and Dean have more than held their own
Yes.
as inside defenders in this game. Not easy to do against the ruggedness of that state front line.
Ball loose, and we keep it alive. LSU's had a few possessions where they've come away with points like this. Not that time. That is a shot clock violation. Tennessee will hit the floor for the first time tomorrow. And think about it, Jimmy, since the 24th of February, 3 SEC players are averaging 28 points or more. Dalton Connect, who we'll see, Caleb Battle, who had 24 last night, and Josh Hubbard. And Hubbard, 13 for Mississippi State, has taken 2 shots so far.
Well, credit LSU's defense, because anytime there's a screening situation for Hubbard, they are switching, and they're switching right into his chest. They're giving this kid no airspace on the touch or even the ability to rise up and shoot.
Milwaukee Wilkinson, 5 for LSU into the game. Tough pass, good hands again, down low. Fountain, look out. May have been some contact with the face, so let's hope everything is all right here for the LSU player down on the ground. It takes a lot to get Trey Hannibal down. Like an elbow right to his head, and he hit the ground.
Inadvertent, but man, what a hard shot. DJ Jeffries immediately says, man, I'm sorry, but just a loose ball scramble. And that right elbow clips Trey Hannibal. Tough kid, man, Trey Hannibal. He's bounced around his career. South Carolina to Murray State, finds his leggings again at LSU. There's not a more physical guard in college basketball than this kid.
6'2", 221 pounds of steel. The last game against Missouri, he went off for 24. And just a little salt in the old wound there. The foul was called against Hannibal. 21-17. 5:15 to go in the first half of this one. A quick double on Hubbard. Too many hands around the ball. They take it away from him. Every time Hubbard puts the ball on the deck, there are 2 guys right on him.
Yeah, the primary defender on Hubbard is in a no-help situation the entire game, and that second defender has to be alert. And LSU very good so far in those 2 areas.
Right, good kick, way off.
Right, here's what I'm talking about. Hubbard just cannot find any space at all to work with. You're going to fight over the top of any screen. And watch what LSU does. Watch 5 in white. Get over it, get over it, get over it, get through it. Good job. Get over this next one. And you got double team trap help. Just suffocating the life out of Josh Hubbard early in this game.
And they've had a variety of guys on him. Now it's Milwaukee Wilkinson, so fresh legs on Hubbard. Straight lane, Matthews goes the other way, no good, but he will have a chance for 2 free throws as Fountain got him.
So that initial action for Hubbard out top, Ravi, you're taking Hubbard out of the game, but you're also allowing Mississippi State to make plays going downhill. I think you live with that. What would you rather have? Cam Matthews driving in for tough 2s or Hubbard knocking down 5 or 6 threes in a ball game? The answer is easy. Make Mississippi State beat you driving the ball downhill with their third, fourth, or fifth option.
I would have thought you were going to let me answer the question.
No.
Into the next season, we'll start at 2 Eastern, 1 Central on SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. To get SEC Network Plus, go to secnetwork.com or download the ESPN app.
And Texas, Oklahoma join next year. That SEC football that is the best and has been the best will continue to lead the charge.
Great article in The Athletic just about how far, bam, LSU and the rest of the conference have come in basketball. And Hunter Dean, a great example of it as the depth of each team continues to improve.
The pressure release of LSU since Coach talked with Marty. They're spreading that floor out, allowing their bigs to make plays. Now look at the lift on this kid, man.
Man, way too strong, though. Out of bounds. 3:40 to go. We'll take a timeout. Hunter minutes in that game against South Carolina. He went for a double-double, 14 and 10.
Yeah, one of my favorite guys in this league over the last few years is Tolu Smith. Just an absolute gem as a person. Has battled through a lot of injuries. But he's the anchor on the inside that he's going to have to continue to fight for position. I mean, Hubbard needs some help right now offensively.
Yeah.
LSU has taken him out.
He goes baseline, got trapped down there, and it'll stay, Marty, with State.
Guys, as you could imagine, LSU extremely thrilled right now. Matt McMahon telling his team, great job guarding. There's a composed excitement in that LSU huddle. And he said their pressure defense is starting to wear down. They were face guarding us early. But if you do your job, we're going to get whatever we want offensively. As Hubbard, let me stand up and make sure, yes, is fouled here at the three-point line. But ultimately, McMahon told his guys, you have to guard your bleep off on this end of the floor. We continue to do that. We got a real chance.
Well, foul on Wilkinson, Jimmy, on that three-point shot.
Yeah,
Sends Hubbard to the line.
They just fouled their bleep off. And Hubbard is so tricky. Again, I would think that he leads this conference in the number of times he's been fouled as a three-point shooter. And his elevation, but that violent cut to the corner to get himself free and maybe get himself going in this game. All freshman SEC member this year, but I mean, he's got a great story, Josh Hubbard. When he was in the 5th grade, he was diagnosed with Kawasaki disease. He was actually in the hospital, Josh Hubbard was, for 19 days. The fever got to 104, 105, and a lot of uncertainty what was going on with his body for about a 3-week stretch. And once he recovered from that, his dad says going forward, Josh Hubbard has never been rattled in situations in his life. He learned at a young age how to handle adversity. He just plays with such a great demeanor, even when things are going tough.
He's the one that just threw that extra pass. The corner three, no good. Hubbard's got 8, and 5 of them have come from the free throw line. He's got 1 3. Mike Williams' presence on the floor, Jimmy, has also been a big factor for LSU. 1 point since he came into the game. They had outscored him 18-8. Now it's 18-11. And he just caused the turnover down there. Did Jeffries? That's a foul on LSU. Last couple of trips, you look over at Mac McMahon, slapped in the seat, not happy with the way they've operated offensively.
Yeah, well, now that's the 10th turnover for LSU. And when they start over-dribbling the basketball, that number's going to continue to grow. Wright's going to take a seat. That ball's got to move off the pass. And you've got to get Mississippi State playing off of defensive closeouts. And it's hard to do when you just pound the ball and check the ball pressure, the air pressure in the ball. Mississippi State will eat you up.
So State in the bonus, and the ball goes in and out. Unable to take advantage of it. 13 turnovers a game for LSU, worst in the SEC. And to your point, they've already got 10 in this game. Williams, quick pass. Dean has been terrific.
The combination of Williams and Dean in this first half is why LSU has the lead. Two guys that aren't your primary concerns from the scouting standpoint have stepped up big time on the SEC stage on Thursday.
Hunter Dean, 2 dunks, and that layup, he's 3 for 3.
Wow, get it out of here.
Milwaukee Wilkinson.
I mean, Williams in really good control with that ball and that ball screen offense right now.
Wilkinson, three ball, got it.
Revy, why not? It all starts with Mikey Williams making the right reads. Look at Matt McMahon right in the chest of Williams, saying that's a very good play for it to be in 12 and 6, if my math is right.
That time Hubbard was open, high arcing three, a little too strong.
Good job out of the timeout, though, to get Hubbard with a violent cut and the fill behind. The shot just doesn't go. The ones that he normally makes at a pretty good clip.
Jalen Reed, 6'10", 226 into the game. Another big body for LSU as he hands it off. 10 on the shot clock. Flip pass along the baseline. Wilkinson. They'll have 2 free throws. They got it to Reed down low, and he will end up shooting 2.
Mississippi State, one of the 3 top 25 defensive teams out of this league. Tennessee, the 3rd best defense in the country. Auburn comes in at number 6. Mississippi State at 24. The difference in this league this year is the high-powered offenses that the SEC is producing. There's 5 top 20, watch out. There's 5 top 25 offenses right now out of the SEC. Alabama, Kentucky, Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee. That's why this league has made such a dramatic jump from last year to this year.
Work on free throws every day, and it hasn't yet yielded great results. That one does find the bottom. So you go air ball and then nothing but nylon. Reed, 9-point, largest lead for LSU with a minute to go here in half number 1.
Just stay physical inside with your defense if you're LSU. That's Hunter Dean has done a phenomenal job. There we go again.
A turnover by Smith. Good bounce pass there, but a little too far ahead.
Oh, man, why? You're up 9, under a minute to go. Why have a high-risk, thin ice pass from Williams, who's been so good in this first half? He knows it.
11 turnovers, and the team is leading by 9. Haven't had a field goal for almost 7 minutes. Hubbard, and that's way off to the left. He's been rattled by LSU's defensive effort, and coming up a little gimpy right now is Sean Jones Jr., number 5.
Not foul on defense, so he's learning to compete on that end of the floor. But his ability to get himself fouled is at a whole nother level for a freshman. He got 77 free throw attempts. There's his parents, Jason and Betty, who raised this kid right. He's all about the right things. And the humility that it takes to be the leading scorer on an old team as a freshman speaks volumes to that family.
Yeah, and the willingness of the other players to accept a freshman to be in that role. Again, just the number of three-point shots that he has put up early. When you make as many as he does, you get some credibility to go with it.
We'll take this as late as you can in the shot clock. There's about 8 seconds difference.
Uh-oh.
What was
Williams, that's an unbelievable turnover. McMahon just looked at him and said, as we often say, what are we doing?
The ball just exploded out of his hands on a pass fake, I guess. Well, that could be a big turnover. I've said it all year long. The team that makes a momentum shot going into the half, it's amazing how many times that team will find a way to rally in the second half. Big defensive closeout opportunity right here for LSU.
And Jones Jr. is going to come in to inbounds the ball. Shot and game clock each at 20 seconds. Who's he throwing it into? They find the man. They get into the hands of Hubbard. 7-point lead for LSU. Will it be that as we head to the break? They get it to Smith down low. Defended by Dean. Out of bounds off of Smith.
Ravi, there was good ball pressure on the passer and a defender and a half on Tolu Smith before the ball was ever passed. LSU is probably as good of a defensive half that they've had all season long in conference play.
But what they've done to both Smith and Hubbard is incredible.
Watch the ball pressure and then the pass, the crowd that you're having to work with. I mean, Dean does a good job of circling the post defensively around Tolu Smith, and then the help side defense as well by Tyrell Ward And watch the defense on Josh Hubbard, who is option 1, 2, and 3 in that Mississippi State half-court offense. Just keeping a body on him, chasing him. You are in no help in this ball game if you're assigned to Hubbard. If the guy drives right beside you, let him go, but you do not leave 13 in black. You fight over screens. You trust that second defender to come up and blitz the ball as well, making life very difficult for the leading scorer, Josh Hubbard, who has found his way to get 10 points, but he's only made 1 shot. Yep. He's getting to the free throw line.
LSU doing a good job sharing the ball, too. 7 assists on the 11 field goals. 19 total turnovers in the game, 12 of them for the Tigers. And the same way that you had that big Williams turnover, they got 9 seconds now to try to increase this lead.
Keep an eye on Jordan Wright as a trail guy can make a 3. He's bringing it up.
Oh, they're going to get a foul on Jones here.
They had 1 to give, though,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
So not a bad foul, actually a smart foul. And now you have to play this thing out with your defense if you're Mississippi State. But 3.8 is a lot different than 9 seconds to work with.
Williams gets it in, looks to get it back, does, and oh, just off the front iron as the half expires. Good first half from Williams in spite of that blunder at the end.
Your team, you're down 7 in a game that you certainly don't want to lose and bring any doubt into your resume. As of right now, they are in, but a loss today and things across the country could make things really dicey for Mississippi State. Their older, mature team, will they answer the bell in the second 20?
Well, that's a good start for Mississippi State on a miss from LSU. It was Wright who put it up. Can they get Hubbard open? Can they get points from Smith?
Grab again, Tolu Smith and Jimmy Bell combined for 20 minutes in the first half. No points and 1 rebound. That cannot continue in this second half.
Hubbard, no, still couldn't get it to go. He may get another chance, and he will. And he missed another one. Frustration for Hubbard, Marty.
Gentlemen, chatted with Matt McMahon exiting the locker room. He said, I love the defensive intensity. I love the effort on both ends, and I love the toughness. We have to stop fouling the shooter. We handed Hubbard 8 free throws in the first half. I need 20 more minutes of what we just did. I asked him, have you ever had a celery smoothie? He grimaced, said, absolutely not. Yep. I don't eat vegetables.
Oh, okay. We went all the way to the whole vegetable family. They have missed, Mississippi State, 15 of their last 17 shots. And that will end right there as Matthews used his muscle to get it to go.
They, Mississippi State, thrive when it becomes a bully ball game. And Cam Matthews, a downhill driver that has started to play a lead guard spot and trusting his ability to just make one-on-one plays in that pipe. And Cam Matthews sends a message trying to set the rules of the second 20 minutes. We are going to pound away at the inside in this game.
Now, where will that play come from that triggers the turnaround? And maybe it's the three-point play from Matthews. They apply some full-court pressure. LSU's not great at handling the basketball. That's Hannibal, and there's too much contact from Matthews.
Yeah, well, fouling negates effort, and it negates the pressure.
Third foul on Matthews. That's a big one. On the other side, Fountain has picked up his third. Arkansas and Georgia winners last night. They stay alive and advance. Which one of these two teams will do that? Hannibal in the corner. Quick double team. Good hands. 10 on the shot clock. Open 3. No good, and a good rebound in traffic that time by Mississippi State. DJ Jeffries. Davis open for a 3. They need one badly, and they got it there. Chris Jans puts his hands up to celebrate. McMahon brings his troops in after a seatbelt. Like we're ready to be ejected.
Well, they can't store their luggage, that's for sure. Think about Mississippi State. About 3 weeks ago, they were solidly being projected as a 7 seed with a net ranking of 28. And now they're one of the last 4 in with a net ranking of 42. So much at stake for Mississippi State with 18 to go.
Guys, when Mississippi State got in the huddle there, Chris Jans brought his coaches together for a quick conference, then sat down, looked at his guys and said, as we have a foul there, LSU will shoot 2. Coach Jans said, guys, we're going to get into this defense. Don't celebrate makes. Get into the defense. So he's telling his guys, quit celebrating so much and get ready to play.
Tyrell Ward took that to the hole. The C's kept parting for him as he was working his way towards the rim. I'm not sure he got any smaller as he got to the rim.
He didn't. That happened in the first half. But Mississippi State at times they will down the action and kind of open up their hips and force you downhill. And if you're aggressive with it, you can make them pay at the rim. And the guy that changed the first half, Hunter Dean, waiting to check in the second half for LSU.
2 of 6 from the line, now 2 of 7 is LSU. That's 5 points they've cost themselves. Stays a 1-point game. Everybody in the building rooting for Mississippi State is waiting to see if Josh Hubbard can get going. Murphy, good offensive player, back in. He's 12 with the ball. Tolu Smith goes one-on-one. Kick 3, Jeffries off to the right. Oh, look out. Hannibal took a huge smash from Tolu Smith. That's the second time Trey Hannibal has dealt with some heavy contact from Mississippi State.
Right, let's talk about Josh Hubbard. LSU continues to have no leave defense on Hubbard. You see the hit by Hannibal. That's 2 pretty good blows already in this game that Zero and White has absorbed. But if you're Mississippi State, I'm telling you, it's not bad action right now to have Josh Hubbard as the guy that is setting screens, because his guy is not going to help off. He could be a very dangerous screener right now for Mississippi State.
Trey Hannibal, good snap pass that led to a Ward 3 that's off, but an LSU offensive rebound. Yeah, Baker has made a couple. That one is off the window and good. That steal on the inbounds.
I mean, it's a 34-28 game. That was a steal on the inbounds.
They wore the point guard. Big mistake by Mississippi State again. That's a bad pass. Good hands. Drive all the way. Circus shot, no good. Hubbard is open. Oh, what hands there by Wright. He picked him clean.
After that last basket for LSU, they just quickly jumped the ball and got an uncontested layup off the steal to extend this thing to a 6-point game. And the length of LSU has turned it over, but they have also forced some turnovers with their length on the ball in this game.
Ward was having a word with the officials after that steal, but it was considered good. No problem. Murphy baseline. Hubbard open. Needs it to go. No good. In and out. Smith battling, and instead Baker comes away with it. Frustration big time for Josh Hubbard today.
Yeah, nothing clean. He's seen a lot in his eyes right now as a shooter. Even when he has an opening, he's not open.
Right high off the window, no good. Hubbard is 1 of 9. 1 of 9, 1 of 7 from 3. Or check that, 1 of 6. Good dump down there. Missed layup again at the rim by Tolu. Loose ball on the ground, and the possession arrow favors Mississippi State.
Ravi, Mississippi State came out the first 2 minutes really on fire with passion, and then Baker banks one in. Look at the steal right there that I think most of the arena missed. Alertness, and LSU right back in control, up 6. Down by Kentucky on the last Saturday of regular season play. They're on opposite sides of the bracket, so if they were to meet, it would be in the championship on Sunday.
They're going to get the call on Hannibal. So you saw the top four. South Carolina, there are reports out there that their head coach has got a 6-year extension, maybe $4 million a year. After the top five are 6 and 7, the seeds, the two teams you think have a chance to win it all. Like Florida, one of those teams?
I think Florida is right there with the best of them in this conference. And in March, I'm not so sure that their roster, how it's constructed. Watch out, there you go. You can't guard the ball, you can't guard the rim. A great example of it, but Florida's roster, how they're built with older guards, explosive guards, a rugged front line, just carelessness in this game.
Both teams, terrible turnover. 3, high archer, in and out. That would have been a big one to pull them within 1. It's a little bit like the Arkansas game, like trying to give the game away instead of trying to win the game.
Lock in, focus, be tough. LSU out of the Power 6 conferences, Ravi, they have +7 win improvement in conference play from last year, which is second best in the country. South Carolina leads that with a +9 this year.
Yeah, Williams, that's too strong. Box out by Tolu Smith. When are we going to see Hunter Dean back in this game? Matthews got off his feet. Hubbard is open. Here comes the big fella to challenge him, and the floater got it.
He has learned. You take the jump shot away. The small guards have that floater game, and Hubbard does. And that was such a crucial turnover by LSU, the giveaway.
Yes. Right, a lot of dribbling all the way to the hole. Lays it up, no good. He was not bumped at all by Smith. Chance for Mississippi State with a 3 to grab a lead. They dump it off to Tolu Smith in traffic. Hubbard trying to go to the rack. Dumps it off to Jeffries. He's double teamed. And there's Tolu with a second flush in the last couple of minutes for State.
Good job by DJ Jeffries not to lose his mind as he was swallowed up. But he continued to pivot and pivot the pressure off of him until he could find Tolu Smith.
Got ourselves a ball game at 34-all with 13 minutes to go. Good little handoff. He tried to get it back. Good defense by Davis to get back into the play.
And watch Mississippi State. The floating ability, the drive ability opens up that weak side out of the dunker spot. And here's a floater by Hubbard. Man, you accelerate. You see the defense rushing at you. You got to get off the ground as a small guard. And there's that pivot by DJ Jeffries to not lose his mind, lose the composure. And the guy that changed the game for LSU in the first half now back in, Hunter Dean.
Bad pass there, had no chance to get to Reed. Matthews knocked it away. They were running out of time on the shot clock, and now Mississippi State will get it with Shaquille Moore back into the game and a chance to grab a lead. Last time they led, Jimmy, was 15-13 in the first half.
And Matt McMahon goes the first 7 minutes of the second half without Hunter Dean. And now 12 and White's going to get a chance to get his motor revved up.
Tolu Smith in traffic. Oh, he can't convert it. But a little more engaged is Tolu Smith right now, and you can say that about the entire Mississippi State team.
Yeah, a little more force in the move by Tolu Smith. Determination and strength out of this kid. You're Tolu Smith, you can't be bothered by the miss, man. You've got to keep posting with a purpose, demand the ball, embarrass the guards if they don't throw it to you when you're open.
57% free throw shooter, knocks the first down. One thing that Chance said about Tolu Smith yesterday when we talked to him, in 2 years, he's never raised a fist to come out of a game. In 2 years. Knocks them both down. You can see a little more energy in Tolu. An 8-0 run the last 2:15 have put Mississippi State up by a couple.
You know, Ravi, by making your defense extend three-quarter court like Chris Chance has done, you turn up the motor in your own guys. If you don't play hard when you're three-quarter pressing, you'll get dunked on. And it has worked.
Tough shot, Hannibal, real strong.
Yards after contact in this league on the football field and on this court. So important because he just bounces people out of the way.
Hubbard saw that ball go through the bucket the last time, and he is going to have some free throws that he landed a little awkwardly on that ankle.
I think that's the 5th foul that he has drawn or put on LSU in this game by himself. So he's not having a great impact as a shooter, but he's having a great impact from that free throw line and piling up fouls on LSU. That's the 3rd on Jordan Wright. 4th in this half on the Tigers.
7 of his 12 points have come at the free throw line, and a chance to add a couple more. Free throw shooting looks really good. Anything you're seeing with the shot?
No, not at all. His shot is repeatable. Talking about Hubbard, it always looks the same. The explosiveness. He's one of the few guys in this league that cannot be squared up with his shoulders when he leaves the floor, but he jumps so high he has time to get squared up. Very similar to Dalton Connect at Tennessee.
Knocks them both down. 12 seconds before the 12-minute mark, so they take Tolu out, even though he's playing with a little more energy, to get him an extra breather before the TV timeout. Bell back in the game. Hannibal. There's a loose ball. It's Hannibal who comes up with it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock at 12. Another bullet pass into the corner. Wright's over here. He was open, and that was deflected by Bell. Hubbard wants it. He is driving a lot lately. He's got a shot. Can he? Got it.
The one guy you don't leave is Josh Hubbard.
Williams drives, and he threw it right to Hubbard. This feels like a huge trip. Up 4. Great pass. Up 6. Timeout LSU, and McMahon is livid.
Taking out a 20-7 run by Mississippi State, and now the toughness, the physicality that LSU has played with for most of this game has got to stay at that next level. And Mississippi State will push this thing out on him.
Hubbard's got 16 points, 9 of those via the free throw. He's only 1 of 7 from 3, and he is a dynamite three-point shooter. 6-point lead as LSU called a timeout. Right into the paint. Oh, Moore going to get called. And it was going to be on Jeffries, who came from behind. So they're going to send Wright to the free throw line.
Jordan Wright has really struggled in this game. He's 1 out of 10 from the floor, 1 out of 6 from the 3.
And Wright is capable of huge numbers. Against Ole Miss, he went for 27 points, 7 rebounds, 7 steals, and 5 assists. The free throw finds the bottom. This was McMahon, and he came onto the floor, and he was ripping mad after that 14-2 run.
That ain't it. Hey, that's their run. Now we got to make the run. Here we go. We got to raise the level out here. Get locked in.
The level, get locked in. The message, regardless of the words, was very obvious and very easy to understand. You don't need to hear that.
No, he made a great point. Basketball is a game of runs, and Mississippi State made their run. Now LSU's going to have to answer it.
Yeah, that was just a small snippet of what Coach McMahon said there, guys. He looked at his guys and said, they are waiting on you to quit. We quit 4 possessions in a row on defense. We believe in what we got to get done out there, but that ain't it. That ain't it.
It sounds like Marty was in the huddle. He's roaring to go. Tolu Smith back into the game. Bell back to the bench. One-man game, Tolu. Oh, that ball is sent into the press row with some big-time help from Fountain.
Think about LSU. They come in 17-14, 9-9. They are in really good shape if they don't win this SEC tournament to be in the NIT, which is really good growth for Matt McMahon from year 1 to year 2.
Floater, it goes. Shaquille Moore, last couple of baskets for Mississippi State. Yeah, Jimmy, 24 months ago, there was no basketball program at LSU. Hannibal lost it, and it's picked up by Dean.
Now, yeah, to your point, remember when Matt McMahon took over at LSU, I think within the first 7 days, he had no one on his roster.
He had to build a team.
He had to absolutely build a team, and he did the best he could last year, but he's had time to identify guys that care about LSU. He searched for guys that are winning players at other programs that are from the state of LSU. He targeted those guys in the portal.
Free throw good from Dean. Similarly, you know, Lamont Paris ends up in South Carolina, and among the guys that they were interviewing at the same time were McMahon. Coaching level at the SEC has gone through the roof.
Well, Lamont Paris is hands down the SEC Coach of the Year and should be the National Coach of the Year. As South Carolina was picked dead last in a power conference, and they end up tied for second. There's been a lot of great coaching jobs in college ball this year. No one has done a better job nationally than Lamont Paris at South Carolina.
Yes,
Not one.
it's going to go, Jimmy. Offensive rebound. You're right about Lamont Paris for sure. Don Jones Jr. impacts the game. Put a little distance between themselves. Up by 7.
Now remember, if you're just now joining this, Marty talked about off the top. He talked to Joe Lunardi today. If Mississippi State wins this game, they are a lock to be in the NCAA tournament. If they were to lose, it could get dicey. They have answered the second 20 minutes.
Hubbard tried a quick pass, and now he's back to play defense. And they're going to call him for the foul on Williams. Appeared to be trying to make sure there was no contact, but Williams forced it. Shaking that left hand of his, that left wrist, as he landed awkwardly.
You know, we talked with Chris Jans yesterday about where his team stood. You're going to see a hard fall on that wrist. I'm with you. Hubbard's just backing out, but that's the proper call. Williams falls hard on that wrist. But I love what Chris Jans said. We asked him about, does he talk to his guys about where we are, NCAA tournament? Does he stress about it, crunch the numbers? He said, not at all. He said, I'm a guy that I'm not wasting energy on things that I really can't control. All I can control is get my team ready to play against LSU.
But the last time we were with him, he seemed to be totally aware of where they were and what had to happen, and tell my team, right?
Well, yes, but he's also not using energy outside, like in press conferences and standing on a soapbox saying, hey, this is why we need to be in. This selection committee, they're not swayed by that at all. They're not going to put a team in because the coach made a great point after the game with the sideline reporter. That's, you know, does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah, he's using his energy in the right way to stay locked in on his guys, making sure they understand the big picture of how important this game is.
The wedgie leaves 2 shots for Tolu Smith.
Remember, Tolu Smith missed 12 games in non-conference because of the foot surgery that he had. He injured it the day after I was at their practice in the fall. But he has been just consumed by the rehab and a lot of hours in the dark for Tolu Smith to work his way back in front of the bright lights. A kid that absolutely lives in the gym. It's seldom I describe a 7-footer. Normally it's guards that live in the gym. This kid lives in the gym. He cares about ball. He cares about Mississippi State at a high level.
Time for Hubbard to get a little break as we're almost at the 9-minute mark of half 2. Left open right, 3, no good. Another good box out that time. The guards have done a really good job boxing out, making sure LSU's not getting the offensive rebounds. More that time. 6-point lead. Ten on the shot clock, and Tolu Smith spin move. Back cut. Flush! Wow! Right in your face. Give the 2 to Sean Jones, and a good pass from Tolu Smith. Hannibal can't convert it.
There are scoring cuts out of the corner, and then there are violent scoring cuts out of the corner. And this one's violent. A hard, fast, purposeful cut by Jones. And Tolu Smith, as a 7-footer, has good vision over the top of a defender right at that nail area. This kid's an athlete, Jones. Primed to become one of those all-league defenders, 6'5", long arms, plays to his strength, but a really good find by Tolu Smith.
That was a hangover in your face. In your face.
I'm not sure how I feel about the 15-hour flight if I'm sitting beside you for the 15 hours to Seoul, Korea.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling about a 5-hour flight to Seoul, Korea, let alone 15. Straight shots. Dodgers, Padres, here we go. Got a little basketball tournament to take care of first, though, and this is a huge event. Matthews and Smith double teamed on the baseline, but has he been a difference in the second half compared to the first? They're doing this without Hubbard, who's getting a breather on the bench. Morris got 5 seconds. 4, and he shoots it. Oh, and he knocked it down. That's big.
Yeah, Matt McMahon, all you can do is throw your arms up and say, what are you going to do?
Hannibal back the other way. That's going to be a foul on the floor. Joe Lindsay and Bartlettics taught him.
Over 4,300 career points in high school.
Yep.
Plays the game and goes through life with great humility and pace about what he does.
Guys, as one of the most prolific scorers in the country, Josh Hubbard certainly in this transformational moment in collegiate athletics will be courted, and people will be paying attention to where he may play in the future. I talked to him about it this week after he won the Howell Award as the best player in the state of Mississippi. He goes, man, I try not to worry about that. He goes, I love Mississippi State. It is home for me. I can't see myself leaving right now. Coach Jans is a great coach and a winning coach, and for us, it's about getting better every day, not worrying about that stuff.
Yeah, he's not quite ready for the NBA yet. He's 5'10", so at 5'10", you're a point guard in that league. And right now, he's more of a scoring combo guard, and he is grounded in the right things. And talk about a rock-solid foundation piece for Chris Jans to continue to build off of. 13 in black is it.
And he stays on the bench as we come out of that timeout.
You know how many times that was said about me in my career? Stays on the bench as we come out of that timeout.
I thought that would grow a little bit old as the Woo Pig Razorbacks are starting to dance. How about what Eric Musselman's been able to do in March's Muss Magic? And was last night the start of another run. They knocked off #1 Kansas, a couple of Sweet 16s, an Elite 8. Is this an opportunity when they can kind of put it all together?
It speaks to the strength of this league. Think about Arkansas last year, Ravi. They were the #10 seed in the SEC tournament and find themselves in the Sweet 16. That's how good and deep this league has become over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
And maybe this is Caleb Fattle's tournament. He put up 24 last night. Hubbard getting set to come in. Fountain's on the bench with his 4th foul. Smith knocks it down. And here comes Josh Hubbard. To your point, man, he has impacted this game so positively, especially in the second half. Getting to the line, shooting free throws, got a couple of assists. Josh Hubbard sits there with 16 points, and he has only made 3 field goals.
And you can't expose him defensively like you could in November and December. I mean, this is a kid that was not asked to guard in high school. He was too valuable as a scorer. He was actually taught do not foul, so his growth as a defender is still way in front of him.
Got to make those layups when you're down by 8, and that one from Reed did not go. Tolu Smith reverse no, a little too strong as he was able to get around Hunter Dean. Hannibal, he lost it, he got it back. What a break for Trey Hannibal.
Well, LSU has to be aggressive in their push because they're struggling in their pure half-court offense. They've got to score in transition when they have an opportunity. And can LSU get some live ball turnovers right now and get out in front of this rugged Mississippi State half-court D?
Matthews penetrates deep. Hubbard will pull up. Another one in and out. Smith has it. He puts it back. No good. How many shots have each team missed at the rim? Chance to get within 3. Got it. 3 ball from the corner. Williams.
All set up by the ball fake and the shot fake. Williams really sold it. A lot of guys will kind of short sell their shot fake. Not him. He got that thing to eye level. He got the defense to bite and just went up digits in second chance points. They've done it today. Mississippi State only 8 second chance points. Can they keep that number below 10 to close this game out and give themselves a chance?
You were the coach of Mississippi State. What would your message have been right there? What did Jan say in the timeout?
Pound the thing inside. Pound it inside. Get on the glass. Stay with who we are. get our defense set and trust our half-court defense. Do not turn it over live ball.
5 on the shot clock. The spoon right into the hands of Dean. He was stumbling, never really got the elevation he needed. Hannibal all the way to the bucket.
Rabbi, to my point, Mississippi State live ball turnover. And there's a crazy shot, but that's the same as a live ball turnover. And bam, LSU explodes right back into this game.
Bell in. Not a huge offensive threat, and that was knocked out of bounds by Reed.
Right there, it's a shot, but it's a shot turnover is what it is. And now you don't stop the ball, you don't build a wall, lack of recognition, you don't protect the paint in your conversion defense for LSU, and you give up an easy one. A 1-point game right now that Mississippi State finds their way in.
Hubbard, 3. That looked good, and he knocked it down.
When he is making a hard cut to his left shoulder in his jump shot, his three-point percentage is above 50% on the year.
19 in the game for Hubbard. Williams looking for that high screen. Dean the roll. Puts it up. Too strong. He had a good open look. Now let's see if Hubbard keeps this engine rolling. Behind the back. All the way to the bucket. Uh-oh. Hubbard's taking over. He's got the last 5. And now 21 of the game. Hannibal needed that calmly. Drops it in.
Yeah, good job against the drop coverage to take what the defense gave him. That Mississippi State defense was dropping with their big. At some point, you got to pull up and make a hard guarded 2, and Hannibal just did.
Matthews may have got away, dragging his foot. He will take it. He will not make it.
He took the one.
He doesn't take many.
There's a reason why you're open.
Yeah, Josh Hubbard was a big part of the message for Matt McMahon in the LSU huddle there. The first thing he said was, guys, we're right where we need to be. Now we got to have guts and close this thing out. There was much talk about how to defend Josh Hubbard. They want to trail him, and when they do the dribble handoff, they want to really pressure him on that particular offensive set.
I think we've all seen people who, once they start to dance, you just got to let them go.
Yeah. They've done a good job of what Marty just described defensively on Hubbard in this game for the most part.
Good hands that time by Matthews. Here he comes, leading the break. The bounce pass to Tolu. Davis, 3-ball. Yes!
Rams Davis has been at his best the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Hannibal's got 10 of the last 13 for LSU. Tolu comes over to double team him. He steps right through it. Lays it up. No good. Offensive rebound. Put back up and in by Wright.
Good job by Wright to find that backside. He didn't come to the ball side of the rim. Smart, high IQ play by Wright.
Josh Hubbard, 21 points, collects the ball in the backcourt. The veteran Tolu hands it off. Splash down for Hubbard.
He is money. I'm telling you, running to his left into a jump shot. On the rise of the release, just put 3 points on the board.
A completely different player than the first half is Josh Hubbard to 24 points. And 8 of them in the last 240. Right in traffic. No good. Wow.
Josh Hubbard is good enough to, by himself, carry you for a couple of games in a tournament.
Yeah.
He has carried Mississippi State in the second half, 2 minutes away from advancing to the quarterfinals tomorrow.
Everything that LSU did against Hubbard in the first half, Hubbard's figured out a way to not have it hold him down in the second. The handoff, he's double teamed. Well, that was Dalton Connect-like. I mean, that was
it was
massively long 3 with a man in his face.
And watch the last 2, Tolu Smith with a kick out again. He's running to his left shoulder and can pivot right into the shot. He's actually facing the corner when he initially catches it, but as he rises up, man, he gets those shoulders square. The rim he shoots at is bigger than the rim most guys shoot at, right?
And one of the things that all these strength coaches and trainers try so hard to improve their players on is that explosion. Connect has gone through the roof. Hubbard's explosion is incredible.
He's built like an SEC running back, Josh Hubbard. Tremendous leg strength.
Out of bounds, good hands by Wright, goes off. And we'll change that. Joe Lindsay pointed the wrong direction. LSU needs a stop with $1:39 to go. Smith had it, and they're going to call it the other way to get away with a push. It is on Tolu. That's why he got that rebound. And here's Hunter Dean with the clock stopped at 90 seconds. Chance to knock down a couple of free throws.
Right, I talked about Mississippi State is the number 24 defensive efficiency team in the country coming into today. They're not as grimy and as rugged as they were a year ago on the defensive end. Last year, I think they're in the single digits at this point, but Mississippi State is a better offensive team. And it all starts with Josh Hubbard, and they are built. They were knocked out last year in the first four of that NCAA tournament. But offensively, they got a guy that can carry you in a half.
Yeah.
This one's not over yet.
Good job by Hunter Dean. He's a 55% free throw shooter, but he knocked them both down. And now they'll apply some pressure. Hubbard trapped in the corner. And Jans right in the ear of the official called the timeout from his bench.
Of it, rule change
Huge,
just
right?
recently put into play, but now you got a tough spot to inbounds it.
They get it to Matthews. He's got a man wide open. That's Smith. And an easy flush.
And what a job by Cam Matthews to avoid the charge and quickly get rid of the ball. Just a good circle cut action by Chris Jans to get the numbers in the backcourt.
8-point lead. They need buckets quickly. And a right three deflected. That's on Matthews. He had the block. They don't need it. Now they'll try to burn some clock. And they will get a foul. How about Matthews with the block on right there?
I love the game of Cam Matthews for everything that he does. A lot of it doesn't show up in his stat sheet. But watch him with the cut. And right here, man, to avoid the charge and get the ball out of his paws down into the front court for Tolu Smith to finish off not only the possession, but most likely this game. This kid, we haven't talked a lot about Cam Matthews today. Man, his impact, just the impact of winning is how you describe Cam Matthews.
Give Chris Jans credit for what he was able to do offensively. They shoot 51% this half and 45% from three this half. They have their largest lead at the best time to have it with just a minute to go in the game. Josh Hubbard has been a star with 24 points, 9 free throws in 10 attempts. Kind of sensed that was a possibility, and there's a loose ball on the floor. That's a terrible turnover for LSU and Trey Hannibal. The Mississippi State crowd rises to its feet here at Bridgestone Arena as Hubbard finally gets it with a 10-point lead. It feels like LSU's just letting them run this thing out.
Right, remember, Mississippi State was down at the half, and their fight and their purpose didn't seem like it was at the level that it needed to be. And they have answered it in the second half, right?
Yeah, you have said that correctly. 23 seconds to go in the game. A 68-58 lead for Mississippi State. A win, according to Joe Lunardi, gets them an assured spot in the NCAA tournament. And for Chris Jans, who'd lost the last 4 games before this one, knew that they wouldn't necessarily count that. Remember, years ago, how you finish the season would be a reflection of, or something to consider.
Yeah,
not the case, especially given the competition that he faced.
Yeah, they used to put an emphasis on how you did in your last 10.
Yeah.
A good move to get rid of that because your scheduler's so
Previous
different.
plays under review.
(46-29). They outscored them in the second half, and yeah, they did. They reset the clock. The ball hadn't hit anything.
But to go 500 in a league that's this rugged this year, a major step forward for the team out of Baton Rouge.
Yep, 0.6 to get it off, and that one is too strong. That is your shot clock violation. Think about this push by Mississippi State, Jimmy, down the stretch. It was a 1-point lead with 5 minutes to go. 1-point lead with 5 to go. They go on a 15-6 run. That's an unnecessary foul by Shaquille Moore. Now Hannibal dribbled the ball right toward Shaquille Moore. How difficult is it to convince yourself, I see it, I don't need to touch it, I'm not going to touch it. It's right here.
Obviously, it's pretty difficult. This is a rugged, old, very physical Mississippi State team. And some teams are built to win on neutral floors and some aren't. Mississippi State is because of their style of play. Their defense is going to stay rugged and tough. And Josh Hubbard is a difference maker this year for Chris Jans. Not only here in Nashville, but on Selection Sunday when that bracket comes out. Keep an eye on these Bulldogs out of Starkville.
7-0 with a victory today on neutral floors.
To my point.
That's a big number. I like to support my guy. I'm here to back up your
Watch out.
points. Here we
This
go.
could get bad. Whoop.
Hannibal, I'll do it myself. And I won't, and I won't. And the clock will hit zeros. No, it won't. We'll stop it at .1. Williams again, Jimmy. How hard is it when the ball is right there to try to not go for it? Putting a little biscuit in front of a dog, you know, you can't tell him not. You can't.
Oh, exactly.
You know?
Like Rue.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. In the hotel room right now, a biscuit in front of Rue. Gone.
Gone. First Rue reference. Be many more over the course of this weekend.
Mississippi State, even if they're not playing well, they do play hard. And they found that part of their game in the second half. It all starts, in my eyes, with Cam Matthews. If I had an all-motor team, he would probably be the captain.
Jeffrey's free throw is good, and that will do it. Mississippi State advances. Wow. Yeah, the Hannibal flush won't matter. But it was fun to watch.
Yes, it was.
Yo, let's take a moment to appreciate the ones who heal us when we're not feeling great. They're the ones in white coats with stethoscopes, saving lives, giving hope, never losing scope. From the ER to the operating room, they battle illness, dispelling gloom. With steady hands and hearts of gold, they navigate the chaos, bold and cold. They're the healers, the guardians of health. In the face of adversity, they stand with stealth. With knowledge and skill, they fight the fight, keeping us strong in the darkest night. In the midst of pain, they bring relief with compassion and care beyond belief. They listen to our woes with empathy, prescribing remedies, setting us free. From pediatric wards to geriatric care, they show compassion, always there. With expertise and dedication, they strive to keep us healthy, to keep us alive. They're the healers, the guardians of health. In the face of adversity, they stand with stealth. With knowledge and skill, they fight the fight, keeping us strong in the darkest night. So here's to the doctors, the unsung heroes, whose hands hold lives like precious kilos. In the symphony of healing, they play a part, mending bodies and souls with love and art.